Hello friend, oi amigo, oi amiga. Welcome to this lesson of Welsh Inglês Técnico. This is the lesson Units of Measurement, or Unidades de Medida. Vamos lembrar que essa é a lição onde eu apresento a matéria só em inglês. Então, depois dessa apresentação aqui no início, é só em inglês. Tem outro vídeo onde eu apresento essa matéria com explicações em português, tá? Mas daqui em diante, só em inglês. Let's take a quick look at the topics of this lesson. In this lesson, we'll look at 3 topics. First, the dimensions of measurement. Second, the systems of measurement. And third, we'll do a quick review of the metric system of measurement. In next lesson, we'll look at the U.S. customary units, which is the system most commonly used in the United States. Why these two? Well, the metric system is used worldwide. It's a standard, and everyone needs to know how to use the metric system. And since this is an English class for math, we need to know how to use this in English. The U.S. customary, well, this is used in all of American life, including in math. So, as a math student or someone who uses math, you need to know both the metric and the U.S. customary units in English. Let's begin this lesson by speaking about 6 different dimensions of measurement. The systems of measurement all address these dimensions and many others. Here are the 6 dimensions we will speak about. The first is length. Length, also called distance. Length or distance. And this dimension answers the question, how long is something? How long is something? Or how far away is something? The second dimension we will look at is weight. Weight, also called mass. We know those are not identical. Those are not the same thing. But we often use these 2 words interchangeably when we are speaking informally. So weight or mass. And this dimension answers the question, how heavy is this? How heavy? How much does it weigh? How heavy or how light? How heavy or how light? The third dimension we will speak about is capacity. Capacity. How much space does something occupy? Also called volume. Capacity or volume. The fourth dimension we will speak about is area. How much area? How much area is covered? The fifth dimension we will speak about is speed. Speed or velocity. Again, speed and velocity are not identical. We know that. But we often use these words interchangeably in informal speech. Speed or velocity. And this dimension answers the question, how fast? How fast or how slow? How fast is something traveling? At what speed? Finally, the 6th dimension we will speak about is temperature. Temperature. And this tells us how hot or how cold something is. How hot or how cold. So these are the 6 dimensions that we will look at in our systems of measurements and then our units of measurements. In order to measure these dimensions we just spoke of, such as length, people have developed units of measurement. Units of measurement, some standard. So for a length, maybe it's a centimeter or an inch. These are the units we use to measure the dimensions. So units of measurement help us measure the dimensions. Now, Over time, people developed related sets of units of measurement. So a centimeter is related to a meter, and it's related to a kilometer. They are related. So a system of measurement is a set of related units of measurement. Again, a system of measurement is a set of related units of measurement. Let's begin with the metric system. The metric or SI system. SI, in English, it's International System of Units, so it would be IS. But this doesn't come from the United States. It comes from France. So from the French, we have the SI, and it is also known as the metric system. You see there, AKA, also known as the metric system. Of course, you're familiar with the metric system, and you remember that it is based on the number 10. So we can choose a unit such as a meter, and then to speak of larger units, we have multiples of 10. Each one of those has a prefix that means how many times we are multiplying by 10. Same thing with smaller units. We divide by 10. Let's look at a list of the prefixes. So here we have nano, which is 1/billionth of the unit. Micro, 1/millionth. Milli, 1,000th. Centi, 100th. And deci, 1/10th. Nano, micro, milli, centi, and deci, smaller units. So here we have some of the prefixes for units that are larger than the standard, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, and so on. So we have deca, that is 10 times, kilo, 1,000 times, mega, 1,000,000 times, giga, 1,000,000,000 times, and tera, 1,000,000,000,000 times the standard unit. Let's look at some of the most common metric units for the dimension of length or distance in English. So, millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. One more time. Millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. For the dimension of mass or weight using the metric system in English, the most common units are the milligram, gram, and kilogram. Milligram, gram, kilogram. For the dimension of capacity or volume, liquid volume, for example, we could measure it in milliliters, milliliters, or liters. Liters. Milliliters, liters. So most commonly in the United States, if we are measuring volume in the metric system, we will express it as cubic centimeters, or cubic meters. Cubic centimeters, cubic meters. On the other hand, area can be measured in metric units such as square centimeters, square meters, hectares, or square kilometers. Again, square centimeters, square meters, hectares, or square kilometers. Now, if the dimension we are speaking about is speed or velocity, then in the metric system in English, we might speak about it in kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour. That might be a car traveling down the highway, and we say it is going at 80 kilometers per hour. Or we might speak of it in meters per second. Meters per second. Like the speed of light. What is it? Around 300 million meters per second, 299, I forget exactly, but close to 300 million meters per second. So, as you know, in the metric system, we measure temperature using degrees Celsius, Celsius or centigrade, Celsius or centigrade. And using degrees Celsius, 0 represents the freezing point for water, and 100 degrees represents the boiling point for water. So 0 to 100 goes from freezing water to boiling water. We've come to the end of this short lesson on the units of measure. Let's remember the 3 topics that we studied. First, we talked about the dimensions of measurement, and we talked about 6 different dimensions: length and weight, capacity, area, speed, and temperature. And then second, we talked about systems of measurement, and we said that the systems of measurement provide us standard units to help us measure these dimensions. And finally, we did a quick review of the metric system and some of the terms that we use most commonly in the United States. E agora você tem a oportunidade de assistir o outro vídeo dessa lição, que contém essa mesma matéria, mas com as dicas, as pronúncias e as explicações com português. Aí, se precisar ou se ajudar, você volta aqui e assiste de novo esse, ver se você está captando mais ainda do que já capta só em inglês. It has been fun spending this time with you. I always enjoy our time together. I hope it is helpful to you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.